Hey guys, my name is Mitchell. If you're new to my channel, I make videos about living in Vietnam, life abroad. And today we're talking about a little bit sadder or a little bit more disappointing of a subject. I've been here about a year and a half, and the only problems that I have had while living here have honestly been with foreigners for the most part. And recently there was a music festival that people had really high hopes for that was canceled. And today's video is just going to be sharing the perspective of a local who was preparing for almost 6 months?
5 months.
5 months to go to this event. And so I am here with, is Nathan okay?
Yeah.
I'm here with Nathan, and we're just gonna talk about what his experience was. So go ahead and take it away.
Yeah. Hi guys. I went to Quest last year, and I enjoyed it a lot. Like the atmosphere and the music and the people I met there. I really enjoyed it, and to the extent that I bought 5 early bird tickets for my group this year, and we've longed for the event for around 5 months.
Wow. Okay.
That's quite a long time, I guess.
And one thing maybe that that I'm curious about, but I think that a lot of other people, especially other people outside of Vietnam, what was it about Quest that you were so excited about? What about Quest was what prompted you to get the tickets so far in advance?
Yeah, I think I found Quest quite low key in the foreigner communities in Hanoi, because I don't like bars a lot. I don't like stuff in the city.
Yeah.
And I think Quest is a very good idea to connect people, especially locals and music and the foreigners.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I feel quite excited every time Quest like open their registration.
Right.
Yeah.
And okay, so you got the tickets 5 months ago, and take us through preparation. Take it away.
Yeah. For now, I feel quite disappointed because actually we don't have to prepare a lot for the event, but we're very happy for that.
Yeah.
And for now, the most disappointing that happened to this issue is that they said that there's no refund to us, and that's quite, like, you know, we've been prepared for a very long time, and for the whole thing, for the whole time, they have some problem with their event license, and they give no notice to us who bought their tickets. And for now, they said that they don't have money to give back. I don't think it's the proper thing to do.
And just to give people watching this a little bit of perspective, a general admission ticket without the camping and the bedding and stuff like that, that was 1.5 million for foreigners.
1.5. I don't think so, because there's a lot of like tires for the tickets, and for the early bird tickets is more than for us, for students and like younger. We are younger than 30, so we have to pay for $1 million for each early bird ticket for 3 days and betting slot. And yeah, actually I bought 5 tickets, so the number of the amount of money up to $5 million.
Yeah.
And to some foreigners, it may not be something like very.
So it's not a huge amount of money.
Yeah, it's not a huge amount, but considering that there are a lot of people spending such amount of money
Yeah.
on that, especially locals and especially local students who spend such a lot of money on the tickets. I don't think that their silence about the refunding plan is appropriate.
And so just to give people an idea of like the money to be made or potentially, let's say even with early bird discounts and with the different tiers, even if Quest made $50 a ticket, they sold 3,000 tickets online, which is still $150,000. And if, you know, it was mostly foreigners that bought tickets, and for foreigners, the price of the ticket was closer to $75, $80. So to say that in total, they brought in $150,000, I think we could say is probably the low estimate for it. And just to kind of clear things up, the reason why at least they had discounted tickets is because in Vietnam, the average foreigner makes usually 3 to 4 times the amount of money per hour that a local individual makes. And so that's why they had different tiers of the pricing. And I have to say that, you know, great for them for acknowledging that there is an income inequality difference between foreigners and locals. But at the end of the day, most of the locals that bought tickets were students who are not making a fraction of the money that most foreigners make. And the policy of just not giving out any refund, it really hurts the local students more so than anyone else, because they have to both go to school and work to get money. So
especially in the email they sent to a small group of participants who bought the tickets, they state that they are run out of money because of the food and beverage like preparation. But I'm not sure that's the fact, because the food and beverage like budget should be included in the bill to the food and beverage shop owners after the event. So I don't think that their explanation is adequate.
And for people outside of Vietnam, the average meal in Vietnam, if you're eating Vietnamese food, is between $1 to $3. If you're eating foreign food, it's $5 to $10, and that's the meals at Quest last year. I think the most expensive meal there was a burger from Chops, and I think that was $150,000.
I don't really remember, but it's quite high for a usual lunch or any meal like we usually have every day. But it was not, you know, in America, a meal at a festival in America is usually anywhere between $15 and like $20. So that's quite a lot of money.
So the idea that in America the food and beverage is a lot more money, in Vietnam, I don't think that they would make so much money on food and beverages. So the idea of them not having money to give even a small amount of a refund, I don't know if I want to believe that.
All the things that and the most important thing to me is that I didn't get any notice beforehand. You know that I even took the very late buses to the site, and when I was about to get on the bus, there's a group of volunteers coming up and say that they are so sorry because of because of nothing.
Yeah.
They're so sorry that they could not hold the event, and we prepare a lot. Like we even rent tents and prepare food and clothes and and most importantly money to spend on the event.
Right.
And for now there's no notice to us. There's no official information from them to us.
And to talk a little bit more about the lack of notice, back in September, there was a significant number of individuals who died at another event that was held in Hanoi. And after that event, the government put out a decree that they were going to halt any and all music festivals within the district, city, whatever you would like to call it, of Hanoi. And the event, or Quest, did not make that transparent that they were running into any issues or that there would be potential of there being a conflict, which I have to empathize with the people putting on the event, because if they said that there might be an issue, then obviously the event might have been a complete failure, right? So I can understand that. I can understand why they wouldn't do that, but the idea that something was declared by the government and still they tried to push on through it without being transparent, it hurts the people that it really hurts the people like yourself that had put a lot of time, energy, and ultimately money into that. Maybe looking back, how do you think they should have handled it? How do you think that? Because I think that it's important that we don't just criticize them, but we say that, you know, in the future or in a different way, I would have liked to have seen this happen. How do you think that it should have happened?
Okay. Well, if I were them, I will give a notice, because the news of people die in a music festival that led to the halt of all the music festival in Hanoi for this year was very popular. You know, everybody knows about that, and we at that moment was so confused if the Quest Festival is gonna be happen or not. It's gonna be be held or not. But we didn't receive any notice, and we still saw the advertisement on many social media channels. And we assumed that the event is gonna be held as usual. Right. If I were them, I will send a notice that if the event is gonna be held or not. And even after that, as I remember, in November 22, one day before the event, there's a lot of rumors, and especially the onliners capture official documents state that there's no Quest. So till that point, we didn't receive any notice. If I were them, I will just post a small piece of information of notice of noticing people that is the event is going to be held or not. One thing that really kind of stood out to me about the way they handled it was in many of the statuses and in many of the things that they made public,
they were trying to either blame the local village or blame the government of the government is canceling this last minute, even though they had proclaimed that it should be shut down before.
Yeah, that should be a thing. Besides, I think that after the whole thing, like after the official announcement from them that Quest will not be held, I still didn't receive any notice. They just post other events on their fan page, selling tickets.
Yeah.
The artists still performing in several bars in the city, and they charge those events.
Yeah.
And we who like paid for the event. There's no event like Quest, and there's several events like hosted by other artists around the cities, and that's quite. I don't know where my money goes.
Yeah.
Where my friends' money goes. So that's the only thing that I want to place an emphasis on.
Yeah. And I think in many ways, promoting other events that artists were going to be performing at and making those paid events, or saying, this event is only 100K before this time.
It's quite ironic that people hashtag save Quest, but I don't think they need to be saved, because they have our money. They have our money, and they charge others. They are charging others.
Yeah,
yeah. So that's the thing.
I mean, I don't want to jump to conclusions, but if a restaurant or if a venue is selling tickets for Quest, I think it's only natural to assume that if I have a bar and I'm going to sell tickets for your event, if the ticket costs $1 million, I will make maybe 100,000 because you're buying it from my venue or something like that. So for a bar or for a venue to say that we are going to give you a discount, or we are going to let you in for less money, when that venue or when many of the venues sold tickets, it's almost like in English we have the term double dipping, where you make money both ways.
That might be a case.
And I think that's very. Sure, it might give people a place to go have fun, but it does not help the people who are the most affected by it.
Yeah, to some people, the whole thing is about whether they is gonna have fun or not.
Right.
But to many of us, especially Vietnamese volunteers who have worked for like a month for the event to be held, they should feel very disappointed about the whole thing. Like, they prepare for the event for a month, and for now, the event was not going to be happening.
I mean more so than anyone else, I think that the biggest loser, the people who lost the most were the volunteers, right? Because they weren't going to make money from it anyway, and they basically just worked for free, without compensation, and not having a way of compensating not having a way to compensate the volunteers.
That's a problem. That's a problem.
Yeah, that's a really big problem. I think this is a good place maybe to kind of wrap up the video.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that maybe we didn't talk about that we should, or anything that we should close the video on?
I'm not sure, but I want to place an emphasis again on the fact that we didn't receive any notice.
Yeah.
On this.
No notice and no refund, and their current excuse is no food and beverages, no refund. When the reality is that it would not cost them a lot of money to at least accept that they are guests in someone else's country, and to at least give half a refund to all of the locals who bought tickets. And I think that doing that would go a long way, at least to establishing goodwill, or at least showing a little bit more respect to the people whose country this is.
Yeah. Agreed.
So we're going to wrap that up right there. Take from this what you would like to. I would be interested to know what other people think about it, or what other people think should happen, or how they should have dealt with it. And ultimately just to kind of remember that, at the end of the day, if you're a guest in someone else's country and you're hosting an event, you should put the local people as the priority for whatever you do. And I don't think we really need to talk about obeying the government or obeying the law, but I think that the conversation should really be about, taking responsibility and taking ownership in a place where you're a guest, and that's it.